So the idea behind network-centric capacity planning, which we are proposing, is that we take a network perspective to making capacity decisions. In contrast to how it's being done at the moment, where each ANSP more or less individually decides how much resources in terms of air traffic controllers to employ each day, we want to look at the network perspective. So saying that also taking into account the interdependencies between flights, and then decide how much capacity would be ideal for each airspace. That's the idea behind it. That's quite a complicated undertaking. So as I just mentioned, currently ANSPs more or less individually decide on these capacity levels. In order to introduce a more network-centric perspective, there would have to be more coordination, and there would have to be also the willingness to give more flexibility and more authority to a central agency in order to make those capacity decisions. That's something that would need time, and there's more likely to be some coordination as a compromise. The topic is very relevant because, as we have seen this summer, there is a capacity crunch in the European air traffic network. And in order to solve that, we need to better estimate how much capacity is required really in which airspace at which point in time. And if that could be done for the future, we may be able to better also manage traffic then with less delays and less reroutings. I think a workshop exactly as we were having it today can be very fruitful in continuing the discussions towards a more central view of capacity management. On the one hand, we have discussions between ANSPs, so they share their ideas of how they themselves make their capacity decisions already today, so that can help just sharing best practices amongst each other. But then secondly, also, we as academics can give a more naive view on what we think should be the target, and then fruitful discussions can evolve, also challenging our assumptions, but then finding some middle ground in getting us towards that goal. So I think it's very important to have these sessions to bring the right people together and to open our view to what's actually possible and what the potential can be.